Catholic. Looks like Joe Calarame as well as Riker Ruelas. Two of them, and I believe that might be Jacob Williams also back there to receive the kick. That's a little wrinkle for Seton Catholic right out of the gate. We are off and rolling from Husky Stadium here in Seattle. Williams going to get the touch immediately at the 2-yard line on the return. Gets a block. We have an early flag down. He's not going to make it out to the 20. He'll be brought down at the 19. We'll check the laundry on the first play of the game.
Looks like number 44, Caden Fitzhugh, number 15, Fisher Livingston for the Knights in on that stop.
It's going to be a hold against Seton Catholic. We do have the ref mic here this year, so we'll be able to listen in on the penalties, but it looks like he gave the signal. Now he'll make the announcement, but it'll back up the Cougars a little bit. Tough starting field position for Seton Catholic's opening drive.
Holding on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So they'll start from the 9.5, and here comes the Seton Catholic offense, which has rolled right along. Danny, you talked about the season low for Royal, season low for Seton Catholic. They had the 29 spot against La Center before dropping 35 against Montesano. This offense can roll. Immediately, they're going to put Ruelas in motion, turn and give to Williams up the middle. Jacob Williams keeps those legs turned out across the 10, gets to the 12 for a pickup of about 3.
Important to get Williams hot early on, especially against this tough Royal defense. And if it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, then that might be the approach to success for Seton Catholic. Can they own time of possession in this game?
Seton Catholic right back on the line of scrimmage. They don't really huddle up, but they don't run a quick pace offense for the most part. 2 receivers each side for Colton Gesser with Williams to his left. Takes snap, going to fake the give to Williams. He'll roll out to the left. Gesser has the edge. Thought about taking off and running. Decides to throw into traffic. Was looking for Xavier Crank. Lucky for him, that pass wasn't picked. It's incomplete, and it's 3rd down already.
Ben Jinks on the defensive coverage had an interception last week against Kashmir and made a play for that ball there. Went to the ground. It's going to end up 3rd and long, but a little bit of mix-up run and pass to start off.
Tough play for Gesser to throw across his body on the move, too.
3rd down, trips out to the left of Gesser, single receiver here at the bottom. He's going to turn and give this one to Williams on the draw. Williams breaks through the first tackle, can't quite keep his feet through the second. He's going to be brought down after a pickup of about 6, but it's going to be 4th down coming up for Seton Catholic and a quick punt to start this one.
Exactly what you're looking for if you're Royal. 3 and out, and now you have a chance to set up your offense that has been red hot throughout the course of the entire season.
Number 4, Santana Luna is the one that comes up, makes that stop. Now he drops back into punt return about heels on the 50.
Thomas Clute will kick it to him. Just got that punt off, some good pressure. It's going to take a nice bounce for Seton Catholic all the way inside the 40 of Royal before it dies at about the 36. So a nice punt for Clute from inside his own 10-yard line. And now we'll see the Knights on offense for the first time in a familiar last name at quarterback, Mike. Once again, it's an Allred back there. It is Lance Allred, the senior, for the Knights.
Just so everybody knows from the beginning, if you're thinking about it and not sure, Coach Wiley Allred is his great uncle.
You're putting the pieces together for us. We appreciate that. Allred going to be in the gun with Santana Luna to his left. First snap, going to give it to Luna, who's going to cut this one back up the middle. Doesn't really have too much running room. Going to barrel his way forward. Gets maybe a yard or 2 on his first touch. They're going to give him 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's going to be the battle between the trenches where this game can be won and lost. So let's pay attention to that line battle. Can Seton Catholic win that battle on the defensive line?
2nd down and 8. Once again, Allred in the gun with Luna to his right. Going to motion a man across. And there was an early movement, it looked like, on Royal up front. That might back the Knights up 5.
Front of the snap. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So first penalty against Royal moves him back to 2nd and 13.
Opening jitters. And a state championship game. Doesn't matter how many times you make it to Husky Stadium.
I'll be interested. We'll never know, but I'm not sure the 2nd and 8 play call is all that much different from the 2nd and 13 play call.
They do have trips out to the right this time for Royal, so at least a different formation. Allred going to keep it himself, going to fight to get back those penalty yards. He does get those 5, but it's still going to be 3rd and 8 coming up for Royal. And a big play already, it feels like, for Seton Catholic to try and get their defense off the field quick.
You sense in a juncture like this, if you can come up with a stop if you're Seton Catholic, that can set the tone after going 3 and out, and maybe this turns into a defensive struggle.
3rd down, 8 to go for the Knights. Allred in the gun. Luna to his right, trips to the right as well. Single receiver here to his left at the bottom of your screen. Allred rolls out to his right. They're going to set the edge for him. He's keeping his eyes downfield, throws on the run a little bit behind his receiver. It's incomplete, and Seton Catholic answers by forcing a 3 and out of their own.
Intended receiver for the Knights, number 83, Demetrius Holman. Royal sideline, thinking maybe there was a little early action by the defensive back for Seton Catholic. No penalty. It is going to bring up a 4th down, and we're going to have 3 and out on both sides here to start this game.
It's exactly what you're looking for to settle into the game. First state championship in program history for Seton Catholic, and now you can settle in and game on.
Teddy Wazork back to receive the punt. They're going to run a fake. Allred throws this one just out of the reach of a diving receiver in Ben Jenks. It's a turnover on downs, and Seton Catholic gets the stop and has fantastic field position. Going to start at the Royal 38.
How's that for momentum? A fake punt. And the defense, well, and Jenks got open, but the pass from Allred just a tad too deep.
That's a play that you know it's going to create momentum for somebody.
And how many times have they ran a fake punt this season that you've seen, Mike? It can't be too many.
Not very.
1st down and 10 for Seton Catholic. Going to try and capitalize on the great field position. Bringing Ruelas in motion into the backfield. Going to give it to him on a little sweep. Spins out of a tackle. Ruelas is hit at about the 35. Flag comes in late as he's brought down at the 34. For now, it's a pickup of 4, but we'll check the laundry.
Thrown where you would expect it to be a holding call. We'll wait and see what the official decision is.
Based on the Cougars moving backwards, I think they agree. It is a hold against Seton Catholic, so wipe away that play.
So both teams kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here early on, trying to find their footing and find a little bit of rhythm.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 1st down.
It's really only a 9-yard loss. It's going to be 1st and 19 because it was a yard beyond the line of scrimmage. So 10-yard spot foul, 1st down and 19 for the Cougars. But moves them closer to midfield, kind of wipes away that great starting field position a little bit. Williams to the left of Gesser. It'll be Williams. Stumbles a little bit, tries to get out left, gets a good block from Joe Calarame on the outside, and he's brought down at the 42-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 5. He had to fight for those 5.
Redeems the penalty yardage, but that was pure desire from Williams. Now that serves as well as some stages. A short gain that gives you a chance to perhaps look down the field against this Royal defensive front.
Still 2nd and long. Gesser turns and gives this one to Williams again. Again, he's going to try and bounce out to the left. Good tackle in open space. It looked like that might have been number 32, Nathan Niebla, making that stop. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 coming up now for Seton Catholic.
Yeah, that's a good read from his middle linebacker position to be able to scrape to the outside and get to somebody with the speed of Williams.
Speed and strength to be able to get him down in open space. Great play by Niebla and puts Seton Catholic in a tricky spot. If you can pick up some of the yardage here, you can definitely go for it on 4th down if you're the Cougars. But first things first, Joe Calarame joins the backfield to the left of Gesser. Williams to the right. Calarame goes out wide right. Dropping back is Gesser. Pressure from behind. Throws this one. It's high, and it's going to be picked off. Taking that one back the other way. Looks to be, I believe, was that Luna on the pick?
No, I believe it's 7. Grant Wardenar. Wardenar is about 6'3" with about a 6'9" wingspan. He had 2 interceptions last week against Kashmir, and making a big play here early for the Knights to get some of that momentum back, hopefully.
Didn't need some of that, or too much of that wingspan. That ball was just sailed on Gesser, and Wardenar is able to take it away, and Royal going to take back over at their own 39-yard line. First big play of the ball game. Allred going to have Luna to his left, 2 receivers each side stacked. Going to fake the give, now fakes the reverse roll, and now is Allred. Throws this one downfield. He's got Jenks, who takes a big shot immediately, but hangs on for a pickup of 7. Nice hit by Xavier Crank for Seton Catholic.
Crank's tackle saved the first down, and if Crank wasn't there, well, that could be a whole lot more damage done by Royal.
Anytime you can pick up 7 yards on first down, you got to feel good about that. So the Knights going to have second down and pretty manageable here.
Jenks had to survive a big hit. Great play by him as well. Allred all alone in the backfield. And bring a man in motion to change that. Fakes the jet sweep to Luna, but a flag flies pre-snap on the far side. And it looks like this is going to go against Royal.
First snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Third straight drive with a flag on the offense.
That was the wonderful voice of Tony Davila getting in on the call, and a little bit of a sluggish start for Royal. Don't see them have too many pre-snap penalties, maybe a few jitters making the long trip over.
Second false start penalty on Royal.
So backs him up to 2nd down and 8. Looks like they're going to run the same play. That snap between the legs of Allred. He's going to have to retreat, picks it up, but he's going to take a shot. A big loss there. And so far, Seton Catholic's defense not having to do too much. Some self-inflicted wounds by the Royal Knight offense.
Center for the Knights, Abel Garcia, has normally been rock solid on his snaps. So a little bit of a surprise there. Allred was kind of in between on whether to pounce on it or try to pick it up and make something happen. Luckily for him, he was able to secure that loose ball. But like you said, it brings up 3rd down and a whole lot.
26. I did the math while you were talking for you, Mike.
18-yard loss for those keeping track at home.
3rd and about a mile. That's something we can agree on. Allred drops back to pass. He's going to step up. He's going to take a shot. Throws this one, and it is in and out of the hands of Nathan Niebla. Incomplete. It didn't look like he was going to have the yardage for a first down anyway. But now it'll be a punt from inside the own 20-yard line of Royal.
Yeah, Niebla lined up at tight end, and the receivers tried to clear out. He came underneath. Allred stepped up to the pocket, tried to find him, but wasn't able to make that connection. So 4th could be potentially great field position again here for Seton Catholic.
First actual punt for the Knights here. A good kick by Niebla. Wazorek going to go ahead and return this one back across midfield, made a couple men miss, and he's brought down near the 45, and it looks like that's where they will mark him. So once again, Seton Catholic starting with the ball in Knight territory. Couldn't do anything with the first opportunity. See how they do take 2.
44 Caden Fitzhugh for the Knights in on that stop. He'll stay in the game here for the Knights at outside linebacker.
So 1st down and 10 for Seton Catholic, their 3rd drive of this first quarter. 5:25 to go in the opening quarter. Scoreless here in the 1A state championship from Husky Stadium. Colton Gesser to the right of Jacob Williams, or has Williams to his right. Williams slipped there on the cut. He went down in the backfield on his own, a loss of 2.
He was trying to be really patient and make a read, and in the process, when he went to cut back, his feet came out from underneath him.
It's the 2nd time we've seen Williams really slip in the backfield. The first time he was able to keep his balance and turn it into a positive gain. This time, not so fortunate.
Obviously, this isn't a muddy field or anything, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
2nd down and a dozen. Gesser with Williams to his right. 2 receivers each side. And give this one to Williams up the middle. This time he keeps his feet, lowers his shoulder, gets to the 41 for a pickup of about 6 there, and you mark him at the 42, so make that 5. It's 3rd down coming up with 7 to go.
Ben Jinks, number 10, at outside linebacker, one of the Knights in on that stop. A bit of a gang tackle. I think that's what's going to be required to bring Williams down pretty much all day.
And if you're wondering, yes, Colton Gesser, the son of the Washington State University legend Jason Gesser. Jason Gesser is an associate coach for Seton Catholic. He is on the sideline watching his son, the junior, who has a pretty big arm. He's going to drop back to show it off here. Throws this one to Joe Calarame, and again it sailed on him. Incomplete. That's twice we've seen the ball really take off on Gesser.
Calarame just trying to run a comeback route to the sticks. Defensive coverage was behind him. If the ball would have been a little bit more on target, he probably would have picked up the first down. Maybe not much after that, but
Offensively for Seton Catholic, it's been a struggle to start. Gesser has yet to complete a pass, already thrown a pick.
Clute going to punt with no returner back for Royal. Seton Catholic looks like they might play the field position game. Royal looked like they were anticipating maybe a fake. It won't be a fake, as that punt going to take a left turn at about the 15, bounce out of bounds near the 14. So trying to pin Royal back a little bit. Early field position battle between these two teams.
Seton Catholic with the edge on field position. None of that really matters till points start getting on the put up on the board. But right now, it's the Knights that have been pinned back deeper from their starting position on their drives.
First down in 10. Penalties and a bad snap really costing Royal on their first two drives, and a drop. See if they can clean up some of that. Luna to the left of Allred now. Rolls over to the right. Lance Allred brings a man in motion. And flags fly again, as coming across in motion was Shea Stevenson. We'll check, see if this one goes against Royal as well.
First snap, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the second time we've seen a false start when they've brought a man in motion.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing something that they've maybe done all year that this officiating crew doesn't like, or if they're actually having somebody else fall out of their stance while the man's in motion. Hard to see that in real time sometimes.
Coach Allred, I'm sure, is going to make some adjustments. If that keeps getting called, they'll bring a man in motion again. They're going to fake the sweep. Allred keeps it up the middle. He's going to take a shot, be piled up by Cougars at the 12-yard line, a pickup of 3 on 1st and 15.
Great run stop from Avon Napoleon. First one there for Seton Catholic. He stayed in his lane, and sometimes as a linebacker, it's tempting when you see the play fake to the tailback to attack that running back, but if you stay in your lane, sometimes you'll have the quarterback running straight at you, and that was the case, but great play from Napoleon to make the stop.
Second down and 12 for Royal. Allred fakes the give, rolls out to his right. He's got a lot of space in front of him. He's going to tuck it and run, tries to get around the defender, but stepping up and slowing him down, couldn't bring him down inbounds, was Garrett Nebels. He's dragged out at the 20, so a nice pickup there of about 8 makes this 3rd and 4 much more manageable for Royal.
Stout defense all across the board from Seton Catholic. Can they come up again with a stop and then have a chance for their offense and Jacob Williams to get heated up? Let's find out.
Playbook's wide open for Royal. Luna to the left of Allred. Lance Allred going to keep it on the read option, cuts this one upfield. He's going to be right at the marker. The second effort will give him the first down without a doubt as he gets to the 26 for a pickup of 6, and that'll move the chains for the Knights, and I believe that is our first down of the ballgame.
It may well be. He needed 4. He gets 6. It was a bit of a rugby scrum there for the last little bit of that play as he's able to get that momentum and get across.
It looked like he had 3.5 maybe until that second effort. He made sure there was no doubt about it. Gets the first down.
Hard yards come by in this 1A state title.
Santana Luna to the right of Allred. Luna only 1 carry early in this ball game. Allred drops back to pass. There's a little 5-yard out. Incomplete, was behind his intended receiver, Ben Jenks. Second down and 10. Both quarterbacks a little bit off here early on their passes.
A little bit of a crossing route there on the left-hand side with Jackson Larson going deep and Ben Jenks trying to fill that underneath. And that's been twice when they've not been able to quite connect. The other one was on a fake punt.
5-yard out from the slot, and you got the post coming across the top. Read that safety, see where he goes, and he was open, just a little bit off on the pass. Second down and 10. Allred drops back again. He's got time, throws this one on a 5-yard out up top, incomplete, but getting there early on the contact was Owen Pitzer. This is going to be against Seton Catholic without a doubt.
Intended receiver looked like it was number 23, Shea Stevenson. Question is, did he get there before the ball was in the air or after the ball was in the air?
Defense.
Pass interference.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot results in the first down.
A pretty easy call for the official on the far side. First down and 10 once again for Royal. This time out to the 41-yard line. And the Knights starting to move a little bit here. 2:06 to go in the first quarter. Looking for the first points of this 1A state championship game. Luna to the left, waiting for him to get a little bit more involved in the offense. He's going to motion out. Allred throws a slip screen up top. That catch is made, and taking a big shot there was Jackson Larson. A nice pickup, but a great job by Seton Catholic. That looked like it could have been a huge play.
I believe that was number 6, Caden Sullivan. And the Knights scored twice on that type of a screen play last week against Kashmir. So obviously the Cougars have scouted that out a little bit and do a good job. But at the same time, 6 yards on first down.
You called it, Mike. Sullivan with a great tackle on the far side. 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4 for the Knights here. Allred again with Luna to his left. Brings a man across in motion. Motions him all the way out. Allred rolls out to his left. Looking to flip the hips and throw this one. He's got his man. A little comeback route for Shea Stevenson up the near side. Takes a shot near the sideline. Has the first down into Seton Catholic territory to the 45-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 8. And once again, Royal moves the chains.
Stevenson, the junior, kind of a utility guy, can do a little bit of everything there and does a good job finding the sticks and getting beyond them to pick up that first down. Move the ball into Cougar territory.
So far, great job by this offensive line. They are giving Allred plenty of time to throw the football. First down and 10. Trips out to the right for Allred with Luna to his right. It will be Luna this time up the middle. He's got a nice hold. Just going to follow his blockers inside the 40 down to the 39. A nice pickup of 6 on first down. Here come the Knights.
Second play on this drive where it looked like basically a scrum moving forward, and the Knights offensive line have to get credit for those types of plays.
They're getting a big push up front. It felt like it was only a matter of time before Luna took a carry up the middle. Kind of lull the Seton Catholic defensive line to sleep a little bit.
Cougars had 7 men on the box on that play.
2nd down and 4. Allred runs a speed option. He's going to keep it himself. He's got a nice crease inside the 35. Steps out of a tackle inside the 30. Still on his feet. 20, 15. Allred's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Royal. 39 yards. All heart from Lance Allred.
Cornerback Owen Pitzer came up, tried to make the stop, and Allred put his shoulder down, ran through that tackle, and once he got past that one, there was nobody else to have a shot at him as he makes his way to the end zone.
How about the quarterback through the second effort after breaking the tackle of Lance Lee, and then it was all but said and done for Lance Allred.
There are about 3 efforts on that play for Allred. Extra point now on to kick it is Anderson Brown. Good snap, good hold, and that results in a good kick. 7-0 Royal strikes first. 21 seconds left here in the first quarter. Knights on top.
Are you interested in continuing your athletic career? If so, Centralia College could be the place for you. Our programs here are designed to inspire and help kids evolve and grow individually, both on and off the field. If all of that sounds great, come join us here at Centralia College.
Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey has made a huge name in training young athletes. But Proactive is much more than that and caters to all individuals coming back from any type of injury. If you have injured yourself and you need to get back in the game or simple day-to-day life activities, call Proactive Physical Therapy today for an appointment and start your way back to feeling good. Proactive Physical Therapy accepts all insurance, car insurance, workers' comp, Medicare, and VA. You owe it to yourself to feel good and productive. So contact Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey.
It's 7-0 Royal with the late touchdown here in the first quarter. 39 yards from the quarterback, Lance Allred, breaking a few tackles on his way into the end zone. They grab the first lead of this one, and now will boot the ball back to the Cougars. Again, just 21 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Anderson Brown with the kick. Back to receive this one, Riker Ruelas from inside the 5. Going to try and bring it here near side, get some blocking, cuts it upfield, up the sideline. Another flag flies in as he goes out of bounds at about the 26. 2 flags down in the same area. They're kind of spread out. One's here near side, one more in the middle of the field.
Right. I wondered if they're for the same incident or different incidents.
Let's find out.
The near side official just moved his closer to the 20, so let's check.
Block in the back on the return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And when you see multiple flags, typically, especially in the state championship game, referees, best of the best, they'll see the same infraction and throw the flag.
You're exactly right, Danny. These aren't just state championship teams. They're state championship officials as well. So once again, Seton Catholic starting from about the 9.5. 12 seconds left here in the first quarter. Could be the final play of the opening quarter. Colton Gesser drops it on the handoff. He's going to be brought down at about the 4-yard line. Disaster to start this drive for the Cougars.
It was Kalarame that was the handoff was fake to. I'm not sure exactly what was supposed to happen there.
It looked like Gesser wanted to throw it, but not a clean end to the opening quarter for Seton Catholic. Royal has the 7-0 lead after a quarter of play. We'll be right back with the start of the second quarter, right back here on the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks.
Washington Dairy starts simply with cows and farmers. Our farmers make sure their cows are happy because happy, healthy cows provide nature's perfect ingredient, real Washington milk. A quick breakfast, a working lunch, and of course, dessert. All better with milk. Our farmers care for the land because, after all, Washington is home, and home is better with real Washington Dairy.
Welcome back to the 2024 WIAA State Football Championships presented by the Seattle Seahawks on the NFHS Network and powered by the Eli Sports Network and the wonderful students from Vancouver Public Schools. I am Matthew King, Mike Noftel with me, as well as Danny DeBach, Tony Davila running production with some occasional commentary for you. 7-0 Royal on
Royal, start that you want.
It's able to salvage even after a penalty that started that 86-yard drive for a touchdown. Able to turn the tide on that play. See what the Cougars can do now.
About 2nd down and 15, going to give this one to Jacob Williams. He is hit immediately and dropped at about the 7 for a 3-yard pickup. It's going to be 3rd down and plenty long for the Cougars coming up here.
Positive play brought down by middle linebacker Lance Allred. Not just a quarterback, but also a middle linebacker. So that gives you a sense for his ability to break some tackles as well.
He can
on
do
this
it all.
touchdown run. So playing linebacker for the Knights.
Seton Catholic 0 for 3 throwing the football. That's got to change here to keep the drive alive.
3rd down, 13, hard count. Royal comes across. Were they drawn across? It didn't look like it. Good sportsmanship linemen from opposing teams slapping hands. We'll check who this one's on.
First snap, encroachment, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Make it a little bit easier for the Seton Catholic Cougars as they end up with about a 3rd and 8 after that penalty.
Knights will rotate a lot of guys in that front 3. It looks like they've got some fresher guys in the front 3, but that means maybe they haven't been in the game, aren't used to that snap count, that cadence.
Colton Gesser going to bring a man across in motion. That's Teddy Wazorek. Takes snap, fakes the give. Going to throw this one. He's got his man setting down in the soft spot was Xavier Crank. He's going to have the first down for Seton Catholic out to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 9 and a much better ball there from Colton Gesser than what we saw in the first quarter.
Finding the open slot with Zoric breaking over the middle enough to move the chains, and they like to run in the hurry up.
They go quick. Hand this one off to Williams. He comes up the middle. Now out to the left hash a little bit. Nice second effort. Gets the ball to the 26 for a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up.
5 yards on a carry like that. That shows the power that Jacob Williams has for this Seton Catholic team. Sometimes it doesn't seem as if it's much, but next thing you know, gain for 5. Wow.
In motion, Joe Calarame across. Give it to him. He's going to cut it back. On the left side, just brought down a shoestring tackle. He flew forward, though, getting to the 34, so a pickup of 8 and another first down. Great field vision there from Joe Calarame.
Safety number 13, Ezra Jenks, was up in the formation, more like in the box, and ends up being the one that brings Kalarame down. That's a kid that you have to secure. You have to tackle him with all the fundamentals.
Kalarame again on the right side, tried to stiff arm a defender, couldn't get around the tackle there of Ben Jenks, who brings him down for a loss of 2.
How's that for fundamentals?
I mentioned fundamentals. Ben Jenks will show you fundamentals. He was the defensive MVP for the league that the Knights play in, and it's been off to he's had a hot playoffs on the defensive side.
2nd down and a dozen now. After that play from Jenks, faking to give his guesser. He's going to drop back, throws this one near the sticks. He was looking for Riker Ruelas, who couldn't find the open space. It's incomplete, and it's 3rd down coming up.
Wardenar for the Knights had tight coverage right there along the sideline. It had to be a perfectly thrown ball for Ruelas to be able to haul it in.
3rd down and 12 coming up. Ruelas did set the school record for touchdown receptions in a season this year. Again, the Seton Catholic program just starting in 2012, so still a young program. Going to bring a man in motion. That's Wazora coming here near side. Gesser drops back to pass, looking left, going to throw this one second level over the head of Kalarame and nearly picked off again. There waiting for that one was Jackson Larson. It's going to be 4th down, though, and another punt coming up for the Cougars.
3rd time we've seen a pass sail from Colton Gesser in this first half. One of them was picked off, the other 2 leading directly to punts.
Well, there was 2 receivers in the area there a little bit, so the defense was able to slough off the second receiver and bring a little extra coverage to the intended receiver.
That punt from Clute going to bounce back into the hands of Luna, who's going to try the return on the far side, avoid the first man. Now will dance out of bounds near the 36-yard line. They'll mark him at the 35, so that's where Royal will start this next drive with 9:27 to go in the 2nd quarter. Again, we talked about in the pregame, Seton Catholic has to keep it close. They can't let Royal have another long, methodical touchdown drive. They want to keep this one within arm's reach going into the second half because, again, Royal also gets the ball to start the second half.
Comparatively to most of the games that have been played this year, they're doing an excellent job of keeping the game close against the Knights.
Right now, Royals got momentum on offense. See if they can keep that rolling. 1st down and 10, 2 receivers each side for Lance Allred with Luna to his right. Allred drops back to pass, looking right side, throws this one, and a nice hands catch there. Going down to the ground was Shea Stevenson, but a nice ball. Picks up 8 on 1st down for Royal.
Shea Stevenson is an excellent receiver. He's a junior, and he'd been overshadowed the last few weeks by some of the other receivers. Didn't get a lot of targets, and I wonder if the scouting for the Cougars, keying on maybe some other guys, has allowed Stevenson to have his day a little bit.
Allred's been going Stevenson's way quite a bit here in the first half. 2nd down and 3. Trips out to the left of Allred with Luna also on that side. Allred turns, gives this one to Luna, who's going to cut up the middle. Now comes back, had the 1st down, gave it back, but he's going to gain a few extra yards because of it. Gets out to the 49-yard line, a pick up a 6, and still ends up with a 1st down after all that.
We talked about number 10, Ben Jenks, on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, he comes and sets a beautiful block on that outside edge that allows Luna to get around the corner and pick up that 1st down.
They teach you at times not to go north and south, but here's an exhibit of how to run north and south with Santana Luna. First cutting to the inside, then splitting with that open lane along the left side.
1st down and 10. Allred fakes the give to Luna, drops back. He's looking to take a shot, throws this one at the top of the screen, and a diving attempt. That ball is hauled in. A great diving catch. Once again, it's Shea Stevenson all the way to the inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. What a ball and what a catch.
Interesting play call. He was essentially the only guy in pattern on that play, and he's able to get even with the defender and bring in an amazing catch for the Knights. So far, it's been the Shea Stevenson show from the receiver perspective for the Knights.
What a lunging effort at the end of the play. Stretching to make the catch. Shea Stevenson already at 48 yards receiving in the first half.
32 of them coming right there on that play. 1st down and 10 inside the red zone for Royal. Allred rolls out to his right. He's got a lot of green in front of him. He's going to tuck it and run. Jukes out one defender. He's going to cut it inside. Allred again showing off the legs. He's in for another touchdown.
he saw pressure coming up from that right side, coming to the inside. He rolled out and realized that they had created a gap with that pressure that they brought. He's able to weave his way down the field and into the end zone for the Knights.
Look at the wherewithal from Lance Allred right there with the cut to the inside. And after the juke, forget about it.
Ben Jenks again getting that last extra block just to make sure Allred could get in. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good yet again. 14-0. The lead for Royal, back-to-back touchdown drives. They lead at 8:06 play in the second quarter back after this.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always.
Touchdown run of the half, getting Royal that little bit of separation. It feels like an important drive coming up for Seton Catholic. They got to get some positive momentum on offense. They have struggled to move the football. Line drive kick going to be taken at about the 11-yard line. Teddy Wazorek trying to find some space, takes a shot as he falls forward to the 25. Best starting field position after a return for Seton Catholic in this ball game. No laundry on the field either.
Number 15, sophomore Fisher Livingston makes that special teams tackle. That's the second one he's made so far here early in the game. And, yeah, that last possession by the Knights, a lot of football left to be played, don't get me wrong, but Lance Allred showing you why he's the defending 1A player of the year.
They've relied on the ground game in the beginning. They've run it 10 times, thrown it 6 occasions, only 1 completion through the air.
We're going to screen up top. Ruelas bobbled it a little bit, and that's going to cost him a little bit as he's just going to get a yard. Had a lineman out there who got in his way as well. The timing of that play was thrown off on the bobble.
I'm guessing he would have picked up 4 or 5 yards at a minimum if he wouldn't have bobbled that. Bobble allowed the defense to close for sure.
Alex Arceo was there to bottle up the play, and not much for Ruelas to gain any yardage thanks to that defensive front.
Second down and 9. Calarame joins the backfield with Williams. Going to toss this one to Williams coming near side. He's going to cut it up field, but he is going to be bottled up after another short pickup of just 1. And it is 3rd and 8 coming up for the Cougars.
You have to throw the ball here if you're Seton Catholic. You can't let this game get behind you that quick. But it's been a struggle through the air. 2 of 7 for 10 yards. They got to find something here.
Problem is Royal knows that they want to throw the football here. That defense of the Knights so far playing very well. 3rd down and 8. Colton Gesser fakes the handoff. He drops back, looking to take a shot. He's looking for Calarame here on the near side. Drop that one in perfectly to Joe Calarame all the way inside the 20. There's the big play Seton Catholic's been waiting for.
How timely it turns out to be. Calarame with the big catch, and it was a straight go.
That's where Gesser's at his best. When he has time to set his feet, he can really throw an accurate ball, and he threw it right where it had to be. Calarame with the big gain. Jackson Larson, the Knights' best cover corner, out there on him, able to bring him down, but not before they pick up a ton of yards.
55 yards there. There's a give to Williams. He can be brought down immediately. No gain, but what a dime from Gesser, who's had a rough first half to say the least, but he drops one in the bucket there. A beautiful throw.
63 Asher Garnick, 6'4", 290-pound defensive lineman, makes that stop right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Williams.
2nd and 10 from the 18 of Royal. There goes Williams in motion up top. Pump fake from Gesser. He's got all day to throw. Now will be pressured by a quarterback spy. Throws this one on the run to Ruelas, who makes a great diving catch. What a ball and what a catch. Touchdown, Seton Catholic. 18 yards. Colton Gesser looking like his dad on that one, and Ruelas also a strong catch in the end zone. You can see why he set the school record this season.
Yeah, great.
Look at the effort from Gesser, able to buy time in the pocket. And then Ruelas hanging deep in the corner, able to find the touchdown.
Yeah, he caught a defender in no man's land where he didn't know whether to come up and try to get to Gesser or whether to lay back and cover that short receiver. And Gesser did the right thing, able to throw a ball out in front of Ruelas, who had the edge, was able to make a great extension catch.
Dalton Woods on for the PAT, the left-footed kicker. Good snap, good hold from Wazorek. And that kick is good. Big-time answer for Seton Catholic. They get on the board. Royal still leads 14-7, 5:58 to go here in quarter number 2 in Seattle.
Caters to all in day to feel good.
Big-time touchdown drive, a couple of long passes from Colton Gesser. The first one dropped in the bucket to Joe Calarame. Then he finds Riker Ruelas for the diving catch in the end zone, getting the Cougars on the board, trailing still by 7. 5:58 left here in the second quarter. Royal does get the ball to start the second half, so it feels like a big series coming up for the Knights now on offense. Short pooch kick, going to be off the turf at around the 15-yard line. Santana Luna on the return, avoids the first tackle, and he's brought down at the 27-yard line. Nice return there for Luna. We'll see the Knights back out on offense, and their last 2 drives, they've looked nearly unstoppable.
And it's all thanks to the quarterback, Lance Allred, and he has shown great IQ through the first half of play, whether it's throwing or also on the run. Allred's done it all.
Well, you think about a quarterback, when you think about they make good reads, you think that means they make good reads in the passing game, but he's also making good reads on that kind of run-pass option that he has with his athleticism, reading the defense and taking what they're giving him.
First down and 10 to start this drive for Royal, again from their own 27. Allred going to keep it, tries to get around Williams, who's just going to hang on and wait for the cavalry to get there. They bring him down for a loss of 1. Big-time play there by the Cougar defense.
Williams does a great job staying home and keeping his hips square so that he can make that tackle on a very elusive ball carrier.
Yeah, he's not going to try and lay down too big of a hit, but he is a big-time playmaker on defense. Last week, they had a 7-point lead against Montesano. The Bulldogs looked like they were going to go down the field and tie it up before Williams ended up jumping a route and taking a pick to the house to make it 21-7, and Seton Catholic was able to kind of cruise from there into the semifinal win. 2nd and 11 for Royal. Allred with Luna to his left. Drops back to pass. He's looking left. Going to lob this one on a little corner route, and that one just going to fall to the turf. He was looking for Nathan Niebla, who was hit right as the ball got there. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, catchable ball, tough angle to try to track that ball a little bit. Niebla not able to bring it in. It would have been a first down and then some for the Knights, as he was actually behind the defender. See what the Knights have in the playbook for 3rd and 11.
It was Owen Pitzer there timing that one perfectly. Remember, he was flagged a little bit earlier in the first quarter.
Right.
3rd down, pressure being shown again. And here comes the pressure on the left side. It's picked up. Allred throws that one up top, making the catch, but short of the first down once again is Shea Stevenson. He's going to gain about 9. It's going to be 4th down and 2, and decision time here for Royal.
Yeah, absolutely. I will not be surprised if Allred stays on the field and they try to pick up this first down deep in their own territory.
Got to think hard count at the very least here as the offense stays on the field at their own 35. They ran a fake punt from similar field position that didn't work out in the first quarter, gave the ball to Seton Catholic, but the defense held. We'll see if the Cougar defense can come up with a stand here. 4th down and 2. Allred, the QB draw, breaks it out to the left. He's going to keep those legs churning, and he's going to have it. 3-yard pickup, and the drive stays alive for the Knights.
Didn't need a lot, but he got what he needed. That's the critical thing. Just gets out to that left side behind his blockers and is able to fall forward.
And again, he was hit right near the sticks, but gave that second effort to leave no doubt that they were going to keep the series alive. 1st down and 10 out to the 38. Allred with Luna to his right. 2 receivers here to his right as well. 1 receiver up top. Allred drops back to pass, throws a little button hook. That catch is going to be made. Nice little wiggle there by Shea Stevenson. Flag flies as he's still churning those legs near midfield. We'll check the laundry. Right now it's a pickup of 12.
Defenders coming at him one after the other. He's able to avoid a little bit and pick up the first down. And then really the question here, is this a 5-yard or a 15-yard face mask penalty that'll be added on to the play?
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. results in a first down.
High school football, the only level that still has the discretion of a 5 or a 15. Everywhere else now it's a 15 or nothing. I like the fact that the officials have the discretion, but they make the decision that that one was a little more egregious than what a 5-yard penalty would constitute. Moves the ball across midfield for the Knights.
Put it all the way at the Cougar 36 now for Royal. Allred and company marching once again. He drops back to pass. He's going to be pressured, hit, trying to spin out of a tackle. Throws this one with a defender all over him, and that is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Neblo. Williams timed the hit well, but a great job by Allred just to get that throw off, as hanging all over him was big number 86, Dylan Hamilton.
Allred able to come away unscathed with the incompletion on what could have been a lot worse. Could have been a sack or a turnover, but able to escape.
Hamilton brings good pressure. It's one of the few times that they've been able to get home on Allred, but he's able to stand up to it and at least get the ball out.
Both these offensive lines have done a great job of keeping their quarterbacks clean for the most part. 2nd down and 10 coming up here for Royal. Luna moves over to the right of Allred. Lance, he's going to give this one to Luna. Left side, he is just going to be dragged down by a cleat by Jacob Williams. A 2-yard pickup, 3rd down and 8. If he's able to step out of that one, watch out, he might be gone.
Yeah, no, they both wear number 4, and they both are lightning quick, and Williams does a great job there because Luna, if he gets up to speed after that, if he would have broke that tackle and got up to speed, he'd have been tough to catch up to.
3rd down and 8 now for Royal. 4-down territory for the Knights, I think is safe to assume.
Well, if it was 4-down territory on the other 30.
Ball at the 34-yard line. Allred fakes a give. He's going to throw a screen up top. That catch is made, avoiding the first tackle and keeping on his feet. Taking it is Jackson Larson all the way to the house. Another Royal touchdown.
Jackson Larson scored on 2 screen plays last week in the semifinals against the Kashmir Bulldogs. They ran that same play earlier, and the Cougars did a good job defending it, limited him to just 4 or 5 yards. That time he's able to wiggle his way upfield and avoid the defenders right in that gap, able to make the read off of his block and cut back to the outside to get to the end zone.
That was all set up with the block from Shea Stevenson. His initial block helped let Larson loose, and he used his speed.
Extra point is up and good once again from Anderson Brown. 21-7. Royals got the lead. 3:28 here to go in quarter number 2 in Seattle. Outside, Luna angling towards the sideline, lowers his shoulder, forced out of bounds by Joe Calarame, short of a first down, but a nice pickup of 6 on the first play of the half.
Loving that play call, showing a little faith in Santana Luna, putting the ball back in his hands. Nice gain on first down for the Knights.
That's a great sign for your tailback after you cough up the football twice, and then you're able to say, well, we'll give it to you again, Santana.
You know he's getting a lot of love in the locker room from his teammates and coaches saying, hey, we still believe in you. 2nd and 4. Again, going to run the swing pass here near side for Luna. He's going to have the edge. Stays in bounds. A flag is down. Luna inside the 40, cuts it back inside. He's trying to outrun the Cougar defense, angling towards the pylon. He's going to be in for a touchdown for now, but this one likely coming back as most of the Knights haven't quite made their way all the way down to celebrate. They've got a feeling that this one won't count.
Yeah, they're going to bring that back. They're going to call some sort of an illegal block out on that edge to get Luna to the corner, but even if that touchdown doesn't count, that's a momentum builder in the head of Santana Luna, as he knows that he can make a difference in this game in a positive manner in the second half.
He's still got incredible speed although he is walking towards the sideline down on the other side of the field. Looks like he might just be gassed from that long run.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
So a hold called on Royal wipes away that touchdown, and they'll go back to 2nd and 12.
Happened a couple 3 yards or so downfield, so the net result is about an 8-yard penalty for the Knights.
Allred going to take this snap in the gun, roll out to his left. Flips those hips, and he throws this one on a little wheel to Jenks, who makes the catch and is shoved out of bounds right near the 35-yard line. Now we're going to give him the 36 for a pickup of 6. 3rd down coming up.
Looks like that's number 7, Owen Pitzer, on the coverage. Doesn't prevent the catch, but certainly prevents any yards after catch as he pushes him right out of bounds.
3rd down, 6 to go. A big play here early in the 3rd quarter. Allred, it looks like to his right. That might be
Kevin Gutierrez, I believe, number 26.
Thanks for the help, Mike. A throw on the run from Allred. He's got his man making that catch in traffic is Caden Fitzhugh all the way to the 44 for a 1st down, a pickup of 10, and Royal converts a big 3rd down right there.
Fitzhugh's made some big plays on defensive side in the first half. This is the first time I believe he's called on the offensive side. Makes a nice catch to get that 1st down.
First catch of the game, but how timely was that on a 3rd and medium situation to rely on your tight end to keep the drive alive?
And Santana Luna just checked back into the game for Royal. He's caught his breath. 1st down and 10 at their own 44, but a positive start to this 3rd quarter for the Knights. Allred going to have Luna to his right, trips out to the left, single receiver to his right. Pressure being shown up top by Seton Catholic. Here it comes, dropping back as Allred throws this one up top, and making a nice leaping catch is Jackson Larson. A flag is down on the near side. We'll check it. Right now, Larson's got the completion all the way to the 31 for a pickup of 25.
Some jostling there on that coverage. Flag is thrown. Remains to be seen whether it was defensive or offensive. It happened fairly early in the route.
Pass interference, defense. The penalty decline results in plays of 1st down.
I like the idea of the Knights trying to get Jackson Larson going here early in the 2nd half.
And that was a great job by Larson, helping his quarterback out, going up and making a play for 25 yards. A good ball by Allred as well.
Not much for Owen Pitzer on the defensive end. He was beat on the play, and all he could do, tug on the jersey, enough to limit the gain.
1st down and 10 in Cougar territory. They're going to throw a screen up top. Catch is made. And coming back near side and having some blockers is Shea Stevenson, still on his feet, finally dragged down inside the 10-yard line. Called his name a lot. He gets down to the 9. 22 yards on that one.
Jacob Williams coming across for the defense, across the formation, showing his speed to get to Stevenson. Otherwise, Stevenson probably standing in the end zone right now. Great effort by Williams, not giving up.
They marked him down at the 10, so it's 21 yards, 1st and goal for Royal. Allred's got Luna to his right. Good blitz beater on that screen. Again, pressure being shown. Allred keeps it up the middle, setting up his blockers, going to just lower his pads and keep the legs churning down to about the 4, maybe 3.5 yard line, sets up 2nd and goal.
I think that play call was basically Allred reading how many guys were in the box and making a decision there.
Again, they're bringing the pressure, are the Cougars, from the left side of the line of scrimmage if you're Royal, and they are just going to run it to the right. This time it's going to be Luna up the middle. He is hit immediately, fights forward for a gain of a yard, and meeting him right there, making that hit, was Roman Tabile. It's going to be 3rd and goal for Royal. They're right back on the line of scrimmage, looking to waste no time. Luna back to the right of Allred. Allred going to keep it himself, cuts up field, and Allred's going to get in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the ball game, and Royals back out in front.
Just what you looked for to start the 2nd half. You get the ball if you're Royal, and that's why you defer to start this for the 2nd half. And Lance Allred, he has done everything tonight for this Royal offense.
Pretty clean drive as well by the Knights as far as, didn't look sloppy. Looked like they were precise and executing well on that drive.
Anderson Brown looking to make it 4 for 4 on extra points, and he does just that. 28-21, great start for Royal in the third quarter. Seton Catholic looks to respond, 9:33 to go in the third quarter right after this. In the third quarter, the Knights opening up the second half with a nice long touchdown drive. The only negative thing that happened was a hold that made them have to run a few more plays to get the touchdown, but still a very successful drive for the Knights. As booting this one away will be Anderson Brown. We've seen Seton Catholic run one kick back for a touchdown by Riker Ruelas. This time it'll be a line drive kick over the head of the return man. Ruelas ends up with it at the 25, spins out of one tackle. He's not going to make it to the 30. They're going to start with the ball at their own 28. Good kick coverage there by Royal, and they make the adjustment to make sure Ruelas doesn't have a clean catch for the return.
Nathan Niebla caved in with that tackle. Talk about gaining momentum off the kickoff coverage team.
Yeah, first man down, like we've called his name a ton on special teams, Fisher Livingston. He doesn't make the tackle, but he certainly slows up the return man and allows Niebla and the rest of the Knights to get there and make that stop.
So first play on offense of the second half for Seton Catholic. Colton Gesser with a man to his right. Going to bring Joe Calarame in motion. It'll be a run with Jacob Williams up the middle, showing good patience. He is hit, going to keep those legs churning as meeting him right in the hole was number 44, Caden Fitzhugh again, 2-yard pickup.
Good job standing Williams up in the hole. Not an easy thing to do. Holds him steady until the posse gets there and limits him to less than about a 2-yard gain.
Second down and 8. Again, Seton Catholic lines back up immediately, but takes their time looking over to the sideline to get the play call. 2 receivers to each side. Williams to the left of Gesser. Colton drops back to pass. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got some open space in front of him. He's going to tuck it and run and slide down right near the 35 for a pickup of 5. Still third down coming up, but third and much more manageable at 3rd and 3.
The improvisation from Colton Gesser, and wise decision to make. Live to fight another down. With the passing game starting to heat up near the end of the first half, here's a chance to pick up right where you left off.
Good coverage on the back end for the Knights, so good decision by Gesser and make something positive out of it.
3rd down and 3. Gesser. Blitz being shown up the middle. It does not come. Instead, he gives the ball to Williams, who's going to fight for that first down, and it looks like he's going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, he tries to flop forward there with as much energy as he could muster. He's going to come up about a ball and a half short of that first down. I don't think the Knights are going to assume the punt here. I think they're going to stay in a defensive formation.
And Seton Catholic, they just sent some big bodies onto the field. There is no punter in sight. They're going to go for it. Need about half of a yard, if that. So here we go. Huge play. Calarame going to be lined up in the Wildcat. We've seen this multiple times this season. Brings Ruelas in motion. It's going to be a keep for Calarame. He's hitting the backfield, but he's going to fight through the contact. Still on his feet. He's got the first down and more. He's going to take this all the way. We'll check the flag. For now, it is a long touchdown by Joe Calarame. We'll check the marker. Right now, it's a 63-yard score. And it's a sideline warning on Seton Catholic. The first one, just a warning.
So does the touchdown stand? That's the question.
It should. Normally the first one's a warning, but they are walking
Everybody's
back.
Coming back. There's something in addition to the sideline warning?
So, all right, I learned it's the same signal, but that is assisting a runner. It means someone pulled him forward.
Yes.
I just saw that called for the first time last week, so it is the same signal. It was not a sideline warning.
They're tricking us.
They were assisting the runner illegally. I believe it was Seton Catholic who did it last week as well.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Again, you can push, but you can't pull, and Tabile definitely pulled Calarame out of there, although I don't think he necessarily needed that pull to get the first down. But it's going to back them up. It's a spot foul, so it's 4th down and 3 now for Seton Catholic.
They're going to keep the offense out there. I think they're going to keep Kalarame in the Wildcat.
Guesser's over here on the sideline.
But Kalarame also a former quarterback, and so don't assume that this is just going to be a run play.
They're in the Wildcat again, and Tabile and Williams in the backfield, and they want to talk things over. Coach Dan Chase calls a timeout, so they will chat about this one. We'll step aside for a quick break, come back with a big fourth down play right after this. To play in the third quarter, and after the timeout, the Cougars going to send out the punt team, and they're going to kick this ball back, or at least line up as they're going to kick it. From Thomas Clute, we saw Royal fake a punt in the first half. Again, a touchdown just wiped off the board. They're going to bring a man in motion here on the punt, and they're going to fake it. Clute rolls out to his left. He is going to have a long ways to go, and he's not going to get there.
44, Caden Fitzhugh, between him and Ben Jinks at outside linebacker, they've been making the bulk of the plays, and they've been sure-handed. Not totally surprising that was a fake, especially when they held a timeout and had time to decide what they want to do. Interesting that the starting offensive line obviously is not on the punt team because they're over here sitting down on the bench taking a deep breath when the punt team came out, still going for it, even with essentially the punt team lineman out there trying to get to the outside. Caden Fitzhugh does a great job getting to that edge.
And based on the Knights, I don't think they ever thought that was going to be an actual punt. I think they were anticipating that Seton Catholic was going for it. The Cougar faithful thought they got the first down. It looked like a good yard and a half short to me up here. Dropping back to passes, Lance Allred. He's going to take a shot, looking for the home run immediately, and that is incomplete. A flag flies. He was looking for Jackson Larson, but we'll check the laundry.
Double coverage. I know that Lance feels like he can throw the ball up in Larson's direction, and there's a pretty good chance he's going to come up with it. Doesn't secure the catch, but it looks like, is that Crank, and who else was on coverage?
I believe that was that Williams.
It looks like Williams.
Jacob Williams.
Yeah, so they were back there in coverage. It's going to be a pass interference call. I think on that last fourth down on the fake punt, they felt like that the punter extended the ball before he went out of bounds. They didn't get credit for that.
Pass interference, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot results in a first down.
Seton Catholic fans a little bit saucy after two calls went against them there in their minds.
Well, and that might have been a smart pass interference because Larson could have hauled that in for a touchdown. Instead, it's 15 yards.
It's a well-thrown ball.
Lance Allred with Santana Luna to his left. He's going to roll out to his left. Cuts this one upfield, gets hit and takes a shot as he's spun down to the 14-yard line. Just a 3-yard pickup there on first down, 2nd and 7.
Good block by Luna on the edge. Allows Allred to make a read and cut upfield. Doesn't get much.
That shows the versatility of Lance Allred. When the play breaks down, still able to pick up several yards on the keeper. And Allred, no surprise, leads not only in passing but also in rushing totals for Royal.
2nd down and 7 to go. Lance Allred with Santana Luna to his left, trying to make this a 2-possession lead. Allred keeps it, bounces out left, cuts it upfield. Allred looking for his 4th touchdown, still on his feet, and he's going to get in. What a run from Lance Allred. He's in for the 4th rushing touchdown of the game.
You know, I don't know if that was a read for him, whether to keep the ball or throw the ball. He had 3 receivers to his right, and there was only 2 guys in coverage. At the last second, Seton Catholic runs a safety over to on top of that slot receiver, brings an extra guy essentially out of the box, and Allred runs it right where he was for the touchdown.
14-yard touchdown run. Now number 14, Anderson Brown, boots the PAT through, and just like that, it's a 2-possession lead for Royal. They're on top, 35-21, 6:05 to go in the third quarter. Back after this. Minutes of this third quarter for Royal has opened up a 2-possession lead as they're about to kick the ball back to Seton Catholic. The Cougars needing to get some positive momentum back on their side before Royal really runs away with this one. That kick going to go all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Seton Catholic will start with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Ran the fake punt on 4th and 3 after a touchdown was called back for illegally assisting the runner.
Anderson Brown gets all of that kickoff. It bounces, skips off the 1-yard line and into the end zone.
And they changed up. They did the little short line drive kick the first time to try and keep it out of Ruelas' hands. This time they just kick it over that back line. First down and 10 for Seton Catholic. Colton Gesser going to motion out. Joe Calarame fakes the give. He's going to keep it himself, and there's not a lot of room to work with. Gets 1 yard before he's shoved backwards.
Lance Allred from his linebacker spot, one of the first ones there. Ben Jinks and 75 for the Knights, David Sotelo at nose guard, all combined to stack Calarame up for a 1-yard gain.
Second down, 9 to go. Gesser this time going to line up in the gun with Williams to his left. Brings a man in motion. It's Teddy Wazorek. Lets him get all the way through. Gesser drops back. He's looking to take a shot up top, and that ball is going to be overthrown. Was looking for Ruelas, and a flag flies. There's some frustration there from Ruelas. Going to be interesting to see if they get him for that or if there was a grab before. He was definitely frustrated, though, on that far sideline.
Plenty of contact on the route.
I'm sure he felt like he was grabbed, but he reacted also. So the officials powwowing here, trying to decide what the call is going to be.
You could see the
defense. 15 yards from the previous spot will result in the first down.
Cornerback for the Knights, Grant Wardenar, in disbelief, felt like that call was going to go his way with the late reaction.
Now the Royal Knight fans have voiced their opinion. They get the opportunity.
The officials are equal opportunity offenders here for as far as the fans are concerned.
Can't please everyone. So it's going to be a first down after that 15-yard penalty. They move it out to the 36.
See if the Cougars are able to take advantage of this break.
Trips out to the right of Colton Gesser. Jacob Williams also to his right. Single receiver here on the short side is Joe Calarame. And give this one to Williams up the middle. Just going to fight his way into the pile and ends up picking up about 3, 2nd and 7.
Didn't look like he had great footing there at the end. Didn't really make a cut back. Just kind of fell in with the defense there, but picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards.
We've seen him struggle with his footing pretty much all game long. 2nd and 7. Roy's done a good job of keeping him at bay for the most part. Gesser fakes the give. He's going to take a shot. He's looking for Calarame. Calarame makes the adjustment, and it's incomplete. Kind of led him towards the sideline a little bit too much.
Calarame got to the outside, but was expecting the pass to be to the inside as he turned his head. And he had a half a step on Larson, but wasn't able to find that ball.
Similar to the ghost to the post route where the catch was made over the shoulder by Dave Casper way back when, but a tough play to make.
Yeah,
Calarame.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 7. Big play here in this one. Seton Catholic trying to get some momentum since the halftime break.
Got to pick up the first down here if you're Seton Catholic.
Gesser looks to the sideline. Takes a snap. He drops back. 3-man rush. Going to throw this one up. He's got his man making that catch, and slipping down after doing so is Xavier Crank. Another big first down. Xavier Crank, he is a 3rd down specialist for the Cougars.
Seems like he's really ramped it up come playoff time. Had some really big games and doing a great job there to secure that ball and secure this drive, the continuation of this drive.
And Whistle's going to stop this one as the ball was misplaced. It was placed 1 yard back from where the sticks were. First down and 10, ball at the 36 of Royal now. And just like that, Seton Catholic moving. Colton Gesser gives this one to Williams. A little bit of a bobble, trying to find the edge. Gets around Jenks. Stiff arms a defender, but he's shoved out of bounds after a minimal pickup. Good job by the Knights to really stretch that one out. Just gets a yard.
Grant Wardenar there on the stop. And a look at that completion to Xavier Crank.
Great ball by Gesser, who has been dialed in since a bumpy first quarter. They're going to run a draw, give this ball to Williams. He avoids the first tackler. He's got the edge. Jacob Williams cuts it upfield and takes a shot out of bounds inside the 20. There's a big gain for Williams. Finally gets loose. They're going to say he stepped out at about the 23. We'll give him the 22 officially.
That took away about 7 yards from what he thought he had. It was Lance Allred that ultimately comes up and shoves him out of bounds, but he'd already stepped out of bounds. Great job blocking on the outside, turning that cornerback to the inside and allowing Williams to get to the edge.
First down and 10 at the 22. Gesser fakes the give. He drops back. He's looking to take a shot. He spills out to his left. Going to try and check it down to Calarame. It's incomplete. Good pressure there from the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights do a great job, a much better job. One of the first times, actually, we've seen Gesser under pressure as Arceo and Seton giving him chase and not able to set his feet, so not able to throw as accurate a ball as he would have liked to.
That was a great job by Arceo to not get upfield, gave his teammate the opportunity. He was able to spill out on the scramble by Gesser, so good teamwork between those two. Second and 10. Going to give this one up the middle to Ruelas. Shows some patience, and he is driven to the ground by Jenks. A great form tackle there, wrapping up and finishing by Ben Jenks.
More often than not, Ben Jenks is going to be the hammer, not the nail on that defensive side. He makes a great hit there. Just as Ruelas maybe had the potential to kind of get up to speed, cutting up through the middle there, Jenks comes from across the side and decleats him.
3 yards there, 3rd down and 7, 4-down territory for Seton Catholic.
For sure.
Gesser drops back. He's going to throw a seam across the middle, in and out of the hands of Joe Calarame. Could have been 6. Instead, we're looking at 4th down.
Xavier Crank almost had the catch, and then Calarame in the vicinity, almost well deep in the secondary, could have caught the ricochet, too.
My question is, who do you think the intended receiver was? I think it was Crank. And I think that Calarame had a shot at the ball, but when Crank made an effort for it, it kind of got in his line of sight.
Let's see it again.
Gesser again. Good time. Throws that one a little bit wobbly. I don't know who that was to. 4th down. Gesser drops back. He's going to throw this one again to Calarame, and he sailed that one well over everyone's head. It's incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs.
Calarame looked like maybe he had the inside step there, but that ball was thrown where he wasn't and goes over, like you said, over everybody's head, out of the back of the end zone. Turnover on downs by the Cougars.
So now Royals looking at a chance to really put Seton Catholic in a bad spot. The Knights right now, it is all about ball control. Of course, you don't want to revisit the fumbling issue from the second quarter. But you also have a chance to go up 3 scores. If you can march down the field, they're going to start with the ball at their own 19, so they got to go 81 yards. Lance Allred turns. He gives this one to Santana Luna, who's in the second level, avoids the tackle. He's going to have a first down out across the 30 to the 32, and a nice pickup of 13 by Luna.
Luna coming into this game averaging 12 yards per carry, and that's about what he picks up on that play.
First down and 10. The Knights already on the move. Lance Allred, 4 rushing touchdowns for the Knights, and also threw for one on a little screen pass to Jackson Larson, who did the rest. Allred going to keep it himself up the middle, again showing great patience. He's into the second level, and he's going to have a first down, a pickup of about 10.
It's going to be awful close. Depends on the spot. They might spot him a ball length short. But 2nd down and less than a yard to go is a play caller's dream scenario.
What an effort, though, through the wave of the defense is Seton Catholic, and now
he does a great job getting behind his blockers and reading those blocks, and it looks like he's kind of weaving his way downfield, but he's very aware of where the defense is.
But now playbook wide open.
2nd down and as short as it can be. Allred fakes the give, rolls out to his left, gets the edge set for him, throws this one up, and he's got Jenks, who's going to have a first down into Cougar territory as he's tripped up at about the 47.
But so far, chunk plays here for the Knights. Not big chunks, but chunks for sure. Anywhere from 10 to 15 yards at a pop here.
2:24 and counting left in the 3rd quarter. Royal so far outscoring Seton Catholic in the second half 14-0, trying to make that gap even larger. First down and 10. 3 plays on this drive, and the shortest one was for 9.5 yards.
9 3/4.
I'll give him that extra quarter. Allred with Luna to his left. Lance drops back to pass. Screenplay up top. That catch is made, and trying to buy his blocker some time was Jackson Larson. He'll be brought down after a pickup of about 6. Still a nice play on first down.
Knights love those screenplays, and they work on them a ton. Those plays to be effective, the timing of the pull, of the blockers getting out front, everything has to be just about perfect.
Look at Larson's setup. You won't see it from this angle. He sets up for that screenplay. Won't be able to catch an angle of it, but great setup, great design from Coach Allred.
Great job by the lineman to fly out there and get some blocks in too. Second and about 5. There's a give to Luna coming near side. Luna trying to find the edge. He cuts it upfield. He's going to have a first down as he ducks out of bounds right near the 35. And another first down for the Knights.
Yeah, Luna trying to get to the edge. Kind of got to the edge. Had to make a decision. Do I just secure that first down, or do I try to put my foot in the ground and get upfield? He sees that marker, realizes he's past it, gets out of bounds. Gets to pick up another first down for the Knights.
This Seton Catholic defense has been on the field a lot here in the third quarter. And right now they're looking a little bit tired, but going to have to dig deep to come up with a stop here. First down and 10. Lance Allred, Luna to his right.
Got man coverage to Larson here on the bottom of the screen.
Allred drops back to pass. Flag flies, throws this one over the middle. Jenks reaches up with one hand and tips it back to himself for a phenomenal catch, but will check the marker.
I'm going to guess this is some sort of a procedure penalty against the Knights. It's going to come back. But, man, you cannot discredit that catch that Jenks made.
Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first.
Whether it counts or not, if I'm Jenks, I'm putting that on my highlight reel.
That was a great ball, or great catch by Ben Jenks. A little bit overthrown, but, again, just tipped it to himself. Was able to reel it in. It is all for naught as it'll be 1st and 15. But I'm right there with you, Mike. I'm putting that one on the highlight reel for sure.
Straight into your living room. Let's take a look. Wow, what a catch.
Not even sure he necessarily tipped that. That might have just sat on his fingertips as he reeled that one in.
They don't play with Stickum, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
First down and 15. Another pre-snap penalty on Royal. So far, it's not costing him too bad. Rolling out to the left is Allred. Flips the hips. Now he's going to cut back.
Oh,
he's got a lot of green
space
over here. Trying to find an angle to first down. Puts a defender on skates. He'll go down at the 32. A pickup of 8 gets that penalty yardage back and a little bit more.
One of the best 8-yard runs you may ever see, and would seem to be passed all the way up until the very last minute.
Looks like that was number 3, Lance Lee, that came up and made that stop. Did a really good job in the open field to stymie Allred enough for help to come.
2nd and 7 for the Knights, and they're going to let it roll to the 4th quarter. So 12 minutes stand between the Knights and a 5th consecutive 1A state championship. They've got the ball. They've got the 14-point lead, and they've got momentum. FHS Network and powered by the Eli Sports Network and Vancouver Public Schools. Matthew King alongside Mike Knoftel and Danny DeBach. The Royal Knights leading the Seton Catholic Cougars 35-21 in this 1A state football championship game. Already saw Wilbur Creston Keller win their first state title in program history to get the day started with a win over Liberty Christian by 8. Royal outscoring Seton Catholic in the second half 14-0 after we were tied at halftime and trying to punch in another one. They've got 2nd down and 7 at the Cougar 32. Lance Allred been the hero of the game. He drops back to pass. Pump fake. He's going to be hit hard from behind as flying in with a sack is Garrett Nebels. And this time the rush gets home for Seton Catholic.
Second sack of the game for Seton Catholic. Couldn't come at a better time. This is a possession where if you are Seton Catholic, you borderline have to force Royal to come away with no points.
Nebels, it's really the first time that we've called his name much on the defensive side, but that was a huge play. He came unblocked and was able to get to the backside of Allred before Allred felt that pressure. Big sack. See if this builds enough momentum here for the Cougars that they can put the clamps on the Knights here at 3rd and 15.
3rd down and long. Allred with Luna to his right. Lance Allred drops back to pass. 3-man rush. He's going to be pressured. He's going to be tripped up, and he goes down, it looks like, on his own. Stumbled coming out of there, and it is 4th down, and I don't see Royal going to go for it here. Yeah, they're sitting on the punt unit, and they're going to kick the ball away. So a great job by the Cougar defense.
Almost looked like he stepped on somebody's foot or something, and lost his balance there and goes down.
Teddy Wazorek back to receive the kick. Did see Royal fake it once, but don't see that coming here, and it won't. As that kick going to be taken by Wazorek from about the 8. Makes the first man miss, but there was another one to throw him backwards, and they will start at the 8-yard line.
Jackson Larson makes that stop. Now Jackson's not quite getting up. Caden Fitzhugh, first guy down there. Larson makes the stop, but Larson still on the ground. I don't know if it's a cramp or an injury.
Jackson Larson lying on his back at about the 6-yard line after flying down there. And they're going to look at him, and it looks like they're going to stretch something out, which normally indicates just the cramp. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 for Seton Catholic, starting at their own 8-yard line. And again, down 14 here late. They're going to need to find a way to march 92 yards and get a touchdown as quickly as possible.
While we fill some of this time, it looks like Gesser had completed 5 out of 11 at halftime. He's completed 6 out of 16 so far through the 3rd quarter. So that means he's just 1 out of 5 in the 3rd quarter.
And it's Allred now up to 4 touchdowns, 138 yards on the ground, a net of 119.
And he's completed 7 passes in the 3rd quarter.
And we just got word from Tyler Hergert that Allred is 1 rushing touchdown away from breaking the state championship record for rushing touchdowns.
He's going to be eyeing that one, especially if Seton Catholic's able to score here.
So he came into the game with 11 rushing touchdowns. He's added 4 to that total tonight so far.
And only one of them's been, you'd say, even relatively easy on the short one.
Sure.
So here we go. Big drive for Seton Catholic. Colton Gesser takes a low snap, gives it to Jacob Williams. He is into the 2nd level quickly. He fights forward to about the 15. Nice pickup of 7 on the first play of the drive for the Cougars.
It was that first burst you saw straight out of the gate from Williams. That speed, that kickstart was enough. Set a great run.
Nice big hole for him. Luckily for the Knights, Ben Jinks comes across and trips him up.
Williams, a nice second effort, submarining about half a yard short of the 1st down. So it's going to be 3rd down and very short here for the Cougars as they're trying to get back on the line of scrimmage quickly.
They're going to run the ball here and just try to pick up this 1st down.
Go with your bread and butter.
Williams been the hot hand on the first couple plays of this drive. They give it to him again. He's got the 1st down easily as he dives out near the 23. That's going to be a pickup of about 6 and an easy 1st down for the Cougars.
Williams already surpasses his mark of the first half. 32 yards, now at 36 in half number 2. And both again to the testament how he is a second-half tailback.
Right, and because of that, the Knights' defense has restructured so much in the second half to keep him in front. If they want to use clock and let him run 2, 3, 4, 5 yards at a pop, I think the Knights are going to take their chances there. What they're going to try to do is not let him get anything big, and it's been Ben Jinks primarily, again, on that play that's been the one that's kept Williams in check.
There's 5 more for Williams. He continues to eat away, and yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I saw, Mike. They are trying to keep everything in front of them, not let these receivers get behind them either. 2nd and 5. Williams still out there. Gesser fakes the handoff this time, throws this one. It's picked off. Jenks right there, and Ben Jenks looking to take this one back all the way. He's got some blockers on the edge. Ben Jenks stays in bounds. He is going to dive, and Jenks is in, it looks like, for a touchdown. Yes, it is.
Just reads that play, comes across the face of the receiver, picks it off, going the opposite direction of the flow of the play, which makes it harder for the offense to turn defense and to get to him before he can get into the end zone.
Jenks read the eyes of Colton Gesser. Sometimes that's all it takes to come up with the big play, and Jenks with a statement early in the fourth.
He has a knack for dropping back and getting into space where he is in position to defend the pass, but where the quarterback doesn't see him.
Great job of baiting the throw and making the Cougars pay. Extra point attempt is up from Anderson Brown, and it is no good this time. His first miss, going to keep it a 20-point game. 41-21, though. 8:40 to go, and Royal starting to cook here in Seattle.
Whatever your passion.
Ben it off on the near side, going all the way to the far side and staying in bounds, setting up his blockers for the pick six.
How about Ezra Jenks with the convoy leading the block for Ben Jenks for the touchdown? What a tandem.
When they were younger, Ezra Jenks, Ben Jenks, Lance Allred all shared time at quarterback all the way through middle school and even their freshman year before they all kind of settled into their roles, and they've done so nicely.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. I've never seen a team have 7 quarterbacks listed on their roster like the Royal Knights
Well,
do.
you've got several quarterbacks listed that actually start in other positions.
There's a kick going to be taken from inside the 10. And on the return is Teddy Wazorek trying that left side, still spilled out. Brought down, it looks like just a yard short of the 20. So now Seton Catholic has their backs up against the wall. Don't let the scoreboard fool you. This was a tied game at halftime, but Royal has dominated the second half, both on offense and defense. And now trying to put the finishing touches on a 5th consecutive state title win.
You got to figure this is, considering time and situation, this is kind of a make or break drive here for Seton Catholic.
They need 7. They need 7 on this drive. It all starts at the 20. 2 men in the backfield with Colton Gesser. He's going to toss this one out. A trick play. Joe Calarame throws this one up. It was read well by the Knights, and that ball's going to be picked off. It's Grant Wardenar making the play, and Royal with a 3rd interception.
Wardenar's 2nd pick of the game.
That makes 4 interceptions between the semifinals and the finals. He had 2 last week against the Kashmir Bulldogs, 2 again this week, and just a sophomore turning into a star at the defensive cornerback position.
So Royal will take over at their own 45 now, just looking to kill the last 8 minutes and 24 seconds and maybe have Lance Allred break the touchdowns record for a championship game, rushing touchdowns record, that is.
I'm sure they're not aware of that on the sidelines. If it happens, it'll happen organically. But it could happen.
Might not be the only history if he's able to find that last one. There's some more history on the line as rolling out to the right is Lance Allred. A flag going to be down to take this run away as he dances out of bounds inside the 40, but this one's going to be coming back as the Knights going to be called for a penalty.
Abel Garcia held on too late.
Pretty casual 15-yard run there by Allred, but it's going to be brought back.
Holding, offense.
With the new
10 yards from the previous spot, replay first down.
I was going to say, with the new rules, that with that hold, even if it takes place in the backfield, it's not accumulated. It's from the initial spot or the previous spot of the ball. So used to have, if there was a hold that was like 5-10 yards back in the backfield, it would be a net 15-20-yard penalty. They've gotten away from that, and now if it's behind the line of scrimmage, it's just 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
I believe it was last year that rule went into effect. Allred with Luna to his left.
Cougar show pressure
up top. He's just going to give it to Luna. Luna going to bounce it out to the right. There goes Santana. Luna picks up the penalty yardage, is still in bounds, and now goes out of bounds. Be interesting spot here. It looked like he went back, and I think they're saying he stepped out of bounds before he went backwards.
Yeah, I think he was going to go back and try to get some more, and then it kind of stopped awkwardly, but I think it's because we didn't hear that whistle that he heard that was right next to his ear there. But decent gain on that play, trying to get him to the edge.
Gets a dozen there. It's 2nd and 8. So the Royal Knights once again saving their best football for the title game, and really the second half of the title game is where you can say they played their best football. And the gun is Allred again. 1 touchdown shy of breaking the rushing touchdowns record in the state football championship. He's got 4 right now. He's going to give this one to Luna. Luna spins his way past midfield to the 49, a pickup of about 4 more. 3rd down coming up.
Roman Tabile gets his hands on him and brings him down. Otherwise, he may have gotten into the clear. Great job by Tabile to limit him to about a 4-yard gain.
And big hats off to Santana Luna, who had a nightmare end to the first half, a couple of fumbles in a row. But he has cleaned that up, and he has had a mighty fine second half. 3rd down and 4. They got to get to the 45. Luna in the backfield to the left of Lance Allred. And Royal keeping their eyes on that play clock. Hard count. Seton Catholic jumped but got back. Allred keeps it here. Bounces it out to the left. Again, bounces it out to the left. He's going to cut this one upfield. Is this going to be history for Lance Allred? He's going to take it all the way. Touchdown Royal, and there's the record. Lance Allred, have yourself a day. 5th rushing touchdown, add a passing touchdown to it.
You know, he showed up like this in the state championship game last year. Was able to run wild last year. Last week against Kashmir, the Bulldogs did a pretty good job spying him, and the Knights went to the passing game. He completed 21 of 26 and threw 4 touchdowns. This time, this game, he's been able to get loose in the open field and show what he can do. Breaks that record. 5 rushing touchdowns, 6 total touchdowns in the game for Lance Allred.
48-21, Royal with the lead, 6:11 to go here in the 1A state championship. Have been hard-earned. It's been an incredible performance by the quarterback.
Yeah, whether it's been him having to put his shoulder down and pick up a touchdown on a relatively short running play, or whether it's him able to read blocks in the open field and make the most of it, stellar performance.
Line drive kick going to be taken at the 10. They're going to fake the reverse. Riker Ruelas trying to find the edge here near side. Just going to lower his shoulder and go out of bounds near the 22.
Shea Stevenson drives him out of bounds. Stevenson, if you remember, started the game as a dynamic receiver that was kind of the guy that kept the Knights going and gave them some early momentum. Hasn't been targeted, I don't think, in the second half, but great job on special teams there.
He has 1 catch in the second half.
Okay.
He's got 6 catches in the game for 89 yards.
Only completion for Seton Catholic in the second half.
They're going to throw a screen here, and that ball is going to be dropped by Ruelas a little bit low on that pass attempt. It's incomplete, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, guess they're trying to get it out there quick, kind of does a little sidestep and tries to sling it out there. He's very accurate when he sets his feet. When he's off balance a little bit, hasn't been quite as good today at least.
2nd down and 10. Colton Gesser against Statue of Liberty to Jacob Williams. Cuts this one back up the field. A mean stiff arm by Jacob Williams as he finally goes down at the 31 for a pickup of 9. Brings up 3rd and short.
Santana Luna playing on the defensive side a little bit here. Ends up making that stop. But, well, I guess he doesn't get the first down. Going to be 3rd down and about a yard.
He's to the left of Gesser again. Gesser fakes the give. Going to throw this one out. It's high for Teddy Wazorek. And it is incomplete and fourth down. It's just been that sort of day, really, for Colton Gesser outside of the second quarter where he was dropping dimes.
I think you leave the offense on the field. I think you got nothing to lose at this point. You got 3rd down and 1, even though you're back in your own territory.
4th and 1.
Yeah, 4th and 1. Excuse me. The marker on the other side just switched to 4th.
There's a give to Williams up the middle.
He
He
might not
stood
get
up,
it.
and there's a face mask, but he's still on his feet. Jacob Williams up the near side, tripped out of bounds just short of midfield. What effort from Jacob Williams to fight through a traffic jam and a face mask. And a late flag as well, very late.
Was there some scuffling there after the play? I turned my eyes away to look at the flags where they were thrown.
This had to have been extracurricular.
Yeah,
Well, it looked like it was more in the area of where something was said based on where the flag is.
You're Royal, you got to keep your head here.
Let's check the laundry.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. That's 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. After the play, unsportsmanlike defense.
Oh, man.
That will be an additional 15 yards. First down.
So add 30 yards to the end of the run where Jacob Williams had to fight to get to midfield. They're going to move the ball all the way to the 20-yard line.
At some point, the second one will be half the distance.
Yeah, but the first one just moves it to the 35.
Oh, I
so
guess
both
you're
of
right.
them are
I
gonna
guess
be,
you're right. They'll be both fully assessed.
Commendable effort from Jacob Williams, always playing to the final whistle.
Yeah, kept that leg drive, was able to pop out, even though he was, there was a face mask involved. And these guys aren't going to go away. They're not going to give up. There's no doubt about that. You got to give them all the credit in the world for the effort they've given.
There's no point in giving up now. In the gun is Colton Gesser with Jacob Williams to his right. Gesser drops back. Surveys, throws this one, coming back to his Ruelas, trying to set up his defender, trying to find an angle to the pylon. He'll be driven out of bounds right near the 2. And it'll set up 1st and goal for the Cougars.
Nice job on the catch. Ruelas and then Wardnar, the cornerback for the Knights, they've been dueling a little bit here in the second half. And Wardnar got the best of it early on with a couple interceptions. Ruelas with a nice catch there and able to drive Wardnar back from the 5 down inside the 3 to about the 2-yard line.
Ruelas with 2 of Seton Catholic's 3 touchdowns.
Knights trying to bring in a little bit more beef here on the defensive front.
Wildcat with Joe Calarame lined up. Going to turn and hand this one to Jacob Williams. He has stood up, nowhere to go. Might have even lost a yard. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Ben Jenks and number 75, David Sotelo, or that looks like the 2 that get there. And, neither team wants to lose this game. But I hope both teams keep their cool, as it seems to be a little bit of a little extra after the whistle.
It's an emotional game, that's for sure.
It absolutely is, and it has to be played that way. You can't play it any other way.
Again, we've seen players help each other up, kind of dap each other up in the trenches as well. It's going to be a throw here from Calarame. A little fade going up is Ruelas, and he makes a great catch. Touchdown, Seton Catholic. Ruelas does it again.
Nice job. He's got to be considered for the offensive MVP for the Seton Catholic Cougars. Jackson Larson, the corner, trying to get a hand in between Ruelas' hands and knock that ball loose. But Ruelas does a great job securing it on the catch for the touchdown.
That was on the near hash, too, so that was a lot longer than just a 3-yard touchdown pass. All the way to the sideline. So Ruelas now has 3 touchdowns in the state title game. Extra point attempt now going to be taken by Dalton Woods with 4:29 to go.
Ruelas, one of the many seniors on this roster for the Cougars.
Kick is up, and that kick is good. So Seton Catholic scores their first points of the second half, 48-28. Royal on top, 4:29 to go. Royal Knights leading the Seton Catholic Cougars here with 4:29 to go in the 1A state title game. Matthew King alongside of Mike Knoftel and Danny DeBach. Tony Davila keeping us on our best behavior, sitting in the producer's chair down there. And we still got one more game to go tonight, the 3A state title game coming up. O'Day and Bellevue. Historic rivalry.
Ever going to be an onside kick, this is the time.
And that ball's going to bounce around. It's going to go out of bounds. Tough break for Seton Catholic. They had the opportunity, but the ricochet does not benefit the Cougars, and Royal will have it at the 48. Now just trying to put the icing on the cake.
That's the bounce you're looking for. Straight off Royal Upman.
Yeah, good kick, but the ricochet went actually behind the Seton Catholic pursuit, and they weren't able to secure it before it went out of bounds. Ends up giving the Knights really good field position inside Cougar territory.
2 timeouts left for Seton Catholic, so we'll see how aggressive Royal is. First down and 10. Lance Allred, 5 rushing touchdowns, already broken the state record in that category, in that statistic for a championship game. He's going to keep it here, try the right side, setting up his blockers. Allred wants one more. He's got a sight set on 6. Calarame going to make that hit. He stays on his feet, and Lance Allred does it again.
Wow, 48 yards, single play drive for the Knights. Easily matches the touchdown that the Cougars just worked so hard to put up and put on a show.
Lance Allred, have yourself a day.
Great blocks on the outside edge, and he reads those blocks just about as good as any high school runner you're going to see to get into the end zone.
Accounted for 7 touchdowns, and the other one was a pick 6. Where he didn't have a chance to get involved.
Right, all of the offensive touchdowns. He's a heavy hand in.
Extra point is up and good. It is 55-28. The Royal Knights 4:15 away from celebrating a 5th consecutive state championship. Stick around to see the conclusion right after this.
Fire
has put on a show here in the 1A state championship game. The 5th touchdown was the 1A state record in the championship game. He now owns everything because he just broke, regardless of classification, the rushing touchdown record in a championship game with his 6th rushing touchdown of the game. He's got 226 yards, so he's going to finish, or at least right now, he sits 19 yards shy of the 1A rushing yards record in a championship game. We'll see if he gets back out onto the field to try and break that record, but Lance Allred leaving his mark on the state record books, as well as that ball going to be bobbled by Pitzer on the return. He's going to break that first tackle before he's tripped up just short of the 30 to the 28.
24, Dax Jinks brings him down. Pressured early, again by Fisher Livingston. 6 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. What's the most, I wonder, in a championship game by a quarterback?
It's 6. It's Lance Allred. He's got the most by anyone.
Previous. I'm going to guess the 5 and the, those other guys are all running backs. Maybe they could be quarterbacks. I don't know.
What's staggering about these numbers, coming into this game, Lance Allred only had 415 yards as a whole for the season on the ground.
There's the give to Jacob Williams, who's going to fight his way forward for a short gain. A flag is down. But you mentioned, Mike, he only had, 11 rushing touchdowns coming into this game.
Yeah.
He's over 50% of that in this game alone.
Yeah. Throughout the regular season, he's had plenty of opportunities to get into open space, and I think he's focused on throwing the ball and being as good of a quarterback as he can be coming into the game. Had 39 passing touchdowns against just 5 interceptions. But when it comes to the game that's for all the marbles, you go to what's best. And tonight it's definitely been Lance Allred.
Yeah, you take what's there. If you have to be selfish, go for it. The hold negated that play. They're trying to set up a screen. It is thrown low, looking for Ruelas. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, he double pumped the screen. The rule is if you double pump a screen, you can't throw it back to the place you were first looking, as the Knights just about stepped in front of that. Intended for Wazorek in the slot.
2nd down and long here. A And the Statue of Liberty again to Jacob Williams. He's going to avoid that first tackle, but he's going to eventually be double team, triple team down at the 24. 3rd and long coming up for the Cougars.
How fitting for Royal also for win. Gives them the most state championships recognized by the WIAA all time with 13.
And the win would also be the 300th for Coach Wiley Allred. That's what you're telling me before the game, Mike. You said you wanted to wait.
I can't believe you said that, took that away from me. How rude.
I tried to set you up earlier and you didn't take the bait. I was trying to find the edge, and going out of bounds there is Colton Gesser.
Maybe I wasn't as confident at that point.
4th down. Well, 27 points in the 4th quarter now.
So more things coming in for Mr. Allred there is he's already set the 1A state championship game record for total offense with 403 total yards.
What a day for Lance Allred. I wonder if he's going to be our MVP of this.
We do have to give it out.
I don't know. We'll debate it a little bit.
Talk about that one after this game concludes. 3:13 to go, 4th down and 9 for Seton Catholic. Colton Gesser drops back to pass. He's going to take a shot up top, coming back to it and making the nice catch. He's going to be Joe Calarame.
Haven't really heard much from him offensively today. He makes a nice catch there to move the chains. And since you mentioned it, Matt, coming into this game, Royal head coach Wiley Allred, an amazing record of 299 wins against 28 losses. So over a 91% winning ratio.
That is just insane, that number you just threw out. We're going to dump this one down. Making the catch is Graham Dumas. And he's still up. He's going to fight to the 45, a 3-yard pickup. Now they're trying to get some of the young guys in. They've got a lot of seniors do Seton Catholic, so they are going to have to rebuild. So getting these young guys the opportunity here at Husky Stadium could be crucial to the future of the program.
Giving Seton Catholic a reason for a hunger for next season.
Dropping back is Gesser. Little button hook to Ruelas, who's going to set up the defenders. He gets some open space and gets into Knight territory to the 44.
Those safeties for the Knights definitely focused right now on keeping everybody in front of them a little bit. So even though he makes that move on the cornerback, safety Ezra Jinks there to make sure he doesn't get much more than that.
Allred's touchdowns, he broke his own record last year. He had 6 last year. He's got 7 this year. So he broke his own record for touchdowns in a championship game for 1A.
And there's a pick up top, and that might be another pick 6. This one's going to be taken to the house, and there's the final blow for the Royal Knights.
Jackson Larson crosses that goal line, and there was nobody within 30 yards of him after he picked that ball right up the Royal sideline. His teammates going wild for him as he passed them to make his way to the end zone, and that makes 4 interceptions. Is that right?
Yep.
4 interceptions for the Knights. Coming into the game, they had forced 42 turnovers.
2 run back for scores in this day, and this exemplifies total team effort from Royal.
3 different players with those interceptions as well. The love has been shared. That snap just disastrous as Seton Catholic going to fall on it. A little scramble for the ball, and now it's finally covered up. So
pretty academic. You can't return an extra point on the defensive side, and the Knights don't really need that point at this point with 2 minutes left in the game.
We'll keep it right here with 2 minutes left.
Right now it's 40-7, the point differential in the second half in favor of the Knights.
Well, do you think Lance Allred's over there saying you couldn't go down, Jackson, so I could try and set the yards record too? He's going to be 19 short, and, of course, Royal about to kick this one away.
I promise you that they are rooting for each other and celebrating each other's success. They've played together for a long time. Both of them seniors and able to top off their career with 4 consecutive state titles while they were in school. This would be the 5th in a row overall for the program.
Well, and now knowing that he had the record already, I think Allred was probably aware of that record. I don't think he has any idea about the yards. So I think you're right. I think he's over there celebrating with Jackson Larson, who lands the knockout blow, or seemingly the knockout blow, of a 5th consecutive 1A state title for the Royal Knights.
We get a sense for how many yards that was on the return?
I didn't see where he had picked it off.
Pushing 65, 70 yards, I'm going to guess.
I was thinking 65, somewhere in that neighborhood. Is this kick going to go into the end zone for a touchback? So Seton Catholic will head out onto the field with 2 minutes left, just trying to end their season on a high note. Again, we can talk about the Knights. This has been a historic season for Seton Catholic. Nothing for them to hang their heads about. They've had a great couple of years, really. Getting to the championship game this year for their first time ever. Last year was their first trip to the semifinals. Again, they have really set the foundation for a still young program.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to look at the first half they put in. Yeah, the Knights made some mistakes, but they capitalized on them. They did a good job. They kept it close. In fact, it was tied at halftime. And the Knights just came out on fire in the second half.
Calarame in the Wildcat going to keep it himself. Avoids that first tackle, and he's going to end up getting to the 25 for a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, Fitzhugh gets out there first, slows him down, and it's actually Lance Allred that comes across and is one of the Knights that secures that stop. But about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Wonder how close he is to the tackles record. I mean, he's just close to every record.
I don't know. I think Ben Jinks has got him beat on that one thing today.
Fitzhugh might have.
Fitzhugh, yeah, had a great game on defense. Outside linebacker play has been great.
There's the give to Calarame. Shows good patience. Going to have the first down, still on his feet. He's going to continue to fight. He gets out to the 37 there, a pickup of 12 and a first down for the Cougars.
What you also have to give credit on the defensive side for the Knights. When your linebackers are free to come make big plays, that means your defensive line is occupying blockers and making the offensive line focus on them and allowing those linebackers to stay clean and read and make plays. So big game all the way around for the front seven of the Knights.
Gesser throws a little screen to Reyes, who's going to set up his blockers. He gets hit now from the side and driven backwards. Short gain.
Fitzhugh again on that stop.
Second down coming up with 47 seconds to go. We could be looking at the final play of this game for Seton Catholic coming up here.
Incredible second half performance by the Knights. You said put up 40 points in the half?
40-7.
Wow.
Yes.
Dropping back is Gesser. He's going to throw this one to Ruelas, who toe taps into Knights territory, gets out of bounds with 24 seconds left. It's a first down, and we'll see at least another play.
Gesser's one that will definitely be back for the Cougars next year. He's just a junior, and a good portion of those offensive linemen are underclassmen as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be the core that they'll be building on next year.
3/5 of the line will be back for Seton Catholic as there's Williams up the middle. Bounces it out here near side. He's going to try and keep those legs churning, finally throw him backwards. You also have Roman Tabao, 5'8", 215-pound tailback, will be back, just a sophomore.
Yeah, we haven't seen him on the offensive backfield, but he's kind of their backup next guy up after Williams.
11 seconds left. You hear the Royal Faithful getting loud as the clock winds and Seton Catholic heads to the sideline. The Royal Knights have made history yet again. Make it 5 consecutive 1A state titles for the Royal Knights and 8 of the last 9 as they take this one home over the Seton Catholic Cougars by a final score of 61-28.